Alright, my name is Sean. I'm from New Jersey. New Jersey's in the United States of America. The only country where when you tell somebody you speak a second language, they go, cool, why? But, I try not to be a typical American. I try to, defy stereotypes, kind of be my own person out here. I try not to say freedom too much. I say very un-American things like, I don't know if that's such a good idea, and let me think about that for a minute before I give you my opinion. I have one really particularly un-American quirk. I learned geography. So I know Jose has asked a few people where they're from. Who in here thinks they're from the most obscure country in the room? Who's from the most obscure country? Shout your obscurity out. Because, I can go in on Cyprus and Kuwait already, Nicosia, stand up, Speaking Greek, but on that north side, they're speaking a different kind of language, Kuwait, had your back in the 90s, We're still peeps like that, Not even Kuwaiti for a reference to your country. I just try to have a little bit of, small talk that I can make with somebody from any given country. Who else is rocking from an obscure place? I saw a hand back there. Where are you from? Argentina? What a low self-esteem Argentinian. I thought my wife's Mexican. I lived in Mexico. I thought you motherfuckers were che, como Europa. It's obscure. It's not Paraguay. I wasn't expecting Paraguay out of you. Sorry if there's anyone from Paraguay in here. Argentina, not that obscure. Cordoba, lots of meat, I can go beyond Messi and shit, Perón, you want to go old school, Not just Evita, the actual Peronista political shit. I got stuff for you. Where else? Where's the other obscure places? I feel like Brazil's gonna say his next after Argentina. It's only the fifth largest country, it's down there. But, I just try to know geography, guys. I try to be an atypical American. It's good to be here living in the Czech Republic, I gotta tell you, as an American. I used to live here a few years ago. I just came back in August. This is the only country where you can see a man wearing socks and sandals and having a mullet getting out of a Mercedes-Benz. I'm not saying you can't find that guy in the United States, but his automobile is going to be decidedly different. Not only that, you can see a dude in socks and sandals with a mullet getting elected to office in the Czech Republic. And that did not used to be true in the United States, but in the last 2 years, somehow, more dudes with socks and sandals and mullets been holding office in the US. I don't know why. It's a beautiful country. We've got a big day coming up in the Czech Republic. 100 years since Czechoslovak unification. Gotta love it. This is the only country that celebrates joining together with another country and also separating from that same country. It's like a divorced couple that still celebrates their wedding anniversary. It's cool y'all are still close, but you're confusing the children, It's great to be here. But for the last 2 years, I was living in Mexico, and I do miss Mexico. I miss a lot of things about Mexico. I miss just the way of life in Mexico, the way people are. Mexicans, they smile in the face of hardship, and Czechs frown in the face of ease. So it's a little different. Doing stand-up there is a little easier, generally speaking, because, Mexicans just kind of laugh if the wind hits them a certain way. I just get on stage and be like, hola, soy Sean. Whereas, you can tell your Czech friend the funniest joke you've ever said, and they'll just look at you and be like, that's funny. They're like, damn it, Pavel, I know you mean it, man, but give me something, man. So I do miss it. I miss the food, too. Not only just, the deliciousness of it, but I miss, how to eat in Mexico. Because the thing is, not all food in Mexico is tacos, but it's all taco optional. You get tortillas with everything. You order a soup, have a wet tortilla. Whoa. You go to a fancy steak restaurant, you will be expected to slice that filet mignon, lay it on a tortilla. Went to a sushi restaurant, tortillas. I'm like, what? What am I supposed to do with it? People poking out the shrimp from the middle of the sushi, making a little shrimp taco, eat the rest of the sushi. So it's always taco. optional. So I kind of left forks. I left forks. Coming back here, I looked at a fork like a Czech chef looks at a vegetable. Like, I've seen it, but what is it used for? You know? So I miss it. More than anything, I miss the language. I mean, Spanish is just a sonically superior language to both Czech and English. I'm gonna say, like, Czech is not the most, like, positive and friendly sounding language. Like, Czech conversations sound good at the beginning and at the end. And then in the middle, it sounds like an escalating argument. You know, it starts to like, ciao, ahoy, dobrý den. And then it's just like, then you just hear things going on, you're like, jako, just like, tivole. The amount of tivole is increased, the volume is increasing, I'm on the tram, like, oh my God, is the first crime in the history of Prague about to happen before my very eyes? You know, like, oh, like, tivole, ciao, mwah, mwah. Like, whoa, what is that? Like, the beginning and end are very pleasant. The middle, like, oh man, you meet a Czech person, you say, hey, how you doing? My name is Sean. Teshibie. Just like, whoa, what did I do to you, man? It sounds like a threat. Like, I know what it means. It just sounds like a threat still. Like, but like, Spanish is just a beautiful language. So I want to lay out the languages side by side. So we'll just use some average word examples, just with Czech, English, and Spanish, just to illustrate the point I'm trying to make. So we'll start with a real basic English word. Pencil sharpener. I don't know whether that was Merriam or Webster's job, but like whoever came up with that word, like they were hungover that day. You know what I mean? It's like what we could call the word for the thing that sharpens the pencils. It's like, how many dicks, my fucking pencil sharpener. I'm just like phoning that one right in. Good practical utilitarian English. Like, what sharpens the pencils? The pencil sharpener. What do you call the room where you sit? The sitting room. All right, good practical. Nothing pretty about it, but it's okay. In Czech, the word for pencil sharpener is ožezavatko. That sounds like the last name of a war criminal. I've heard that word before, and it was on like a BBC report. Like, Slobodan Oževatko was found guilty of crimes against humanity for his role in the Bosnian genocide. Ožezavatko. Like, whoa, like, no. That's not a cool word. Like, in Spanish, that is sacapuntas. Like, not only is that sexy, it's dignified. Like, sacapuntas sounds like the name of like an indigenous chief. Unified all of the tribes. Like, you know, it was a time of war until sacapuntas descended upon the plains and unified the great tribes against the conquering invaders. Just basic words, guys. Let's go vegetables. Eggplant. It conjures up weird images, that word, you know? For British people, you got a slightly better one, it's aubergine, but it's a little too nice, like it's so clear you stole it from the French that it's just like, you know, like the British stole the word aubergine from the French, but like that sexy word can't save it from the British accent. You know, like it's like when a British person orders an aubergine, it sounds like they're saying harbor jeans, you know, just like, any aubergines? Any aubergines? So like, you got a slight advantage over us, but you clearly robbed it, clearly nicked it off the French. Whereas, you know, in Czech, it is lilek. Lilek sounds like the alien race in a sci-fi movie. You know, it's like, we are the Lilek. We are here, you will submit to Lilek ways. Or like you're bargaining like with a Ukrainian florist. You know, you're talking to a Ukrainian florist, he's like, I have many floors in my shop. I have roses. I have tulips. I have flowers of sun. I have lilacs. You know, it's not a sensual word. Whereas in Spanish, that word is berenjena. That sounds like a damn tropical paradise. I want to go back, get married again, and do my honeymoon in berenjena. Like, or just something the name of a dance, you know what I mean? Just like Mamo la berenjena, siempre vale la pena, ahora más vale la pena para bailar la berenjena. Like, woof! You can just make dances out of eggplant in Spanish. It's not fair. Oh man, just basic words. Let's go back to English. Butter. General food. But how are you going to make a food a comparative adjective that means more butt? So not only is it butt, it's butter. You know, like, that's not a good word for a food. In Czech, that is maslo. That sounds like the name of like a Soviet gulag. You know, it's like, Yeah, my grandfather was actually interned at Oslo. Like, yeah, speaking out against the government, it's no joke. In Spanish, that word is mantequilla! Mantequilla sounds like a damn hero. Mantequilla is the one who won Mexican independence, rode in on a horse like, "Ay, mantequilla!" It's an incredible word. And it applies to names too, guys. Spanish people, they got it too easy with their names. Like, every Spanish-speaking name for a guy sounds so sensuous. Like, let's start with, I think, a fairly well-known Spanish actor, Antonio Banderas. You know Antonio Banderas? Sexy-ass name. Czech, Antonin Vlajty. Just like, it's fine. That might be the name of the mayor of Ilava, for all I know. Like, you know, Antonin Vlajty. All right. In English, Anthony Flags. If your name is Anthony Flags and you go to public school in the United States, you are fucked. Just like everyone like this to you all the time, you know, like, oh, like, every time you wave at somebody, like, look at Flags waving, like, ah. People calling you Flagget, like, oh my god, like, you're gonna end up working in the flag industry, like, you're done. You're gonna just like have selling flags by the side of the road and your whole life doomed, and people are like, oh, your last name is Flags and you sell flags, like, yeah, I know, until you kill yourself. Anthony Flags, not cool. You know, then we'll go in reverse. You know, we'll start with English, Czech, and then we'll go with Spanish equivalent. So, an English name, Henry Churches. All right, Henry Churches. Sounds like a used car salesman somewhere in California, but not the cool part. Like, not near San Francisco or Los Angeles, the middle part, which is basically western Mississippi. So just like, you know, like, hi, come on down to Churches Kia in Valley Obispo, Concordia, California. You know, like, oh, Henry Churches, not really doing much. Czech, Jindřich Kostely. Now we're getting racist sounding Czech names. So Jindřich Kostely sounds a little racist. That's a little too old school Czech name. I think he's riding out with Tomi Okamura. You know, you got Jindřich Kostely, like, oh, all right, like, he's from somewhere in the east of the country. Whereas in Spanish, that name is Enrique Iglesias. If that dude was born in the Czech Republic, he would have been fucked. You know, and it's not just Spanish, guys. It also applies to Portuguese. Portuguese is a beautiful language. Names in Portuguese sound a lot better than their English translations. For example, Cristiano Ronaldo in English translates to Christian piece of shit. It's much better in Portuguese. Guys, thank you very much. This has been my time for the first time.